This is the all-new S650 Mustang Dark Horse. Now, this is the Dark Horse premium trim, so it does have the 700A high package. So it gives you all the techie stuff, some of the extra trim, and some of the niceties on the interior. But this one that I have here does not have the handling package or the appearance package. So this is the best that you can get right now. It sits right above the GT. It has a little bit more stuff on it than the GT does, and we're gonna talk about that because most of it is under this hood. So under the hood, you're gonna get the 4th generation 5.0 Coyote V8. This has dual 80mm throttle bodies. It's gonna give this thing 500 horsepower, 418 foot-pounds of torque. It does come with a Tremec 6-speed manual with rev matching and 373 gears, which is what gives it that little boost over the GT. The GT has 355 gears. Now, this does go 0 to 60, according to Motor Trend, at 3.7 seconds. Car Driver reported 4.1 seconds, so you're probably gonna have to test that out for yourself. Now, one thing you do get with this Dark Horse is you also get an oil, a transmission, and a rear differential coolers. That is, you do not get that on the GT, and that adds to the weight of this vehicle. Now, it does say miles per gallon. If you care about your miles per gallon, it's going to be about 14 in the city, 22 on the highway, and 17 for an average. So I am at Heller Ford in El Paso, Illinois right now, and this beautiful Dark Horse is actually available for sale. So if you're interested, go check them out. Here's their information down below, and I will talk to you a little bit later about the pricing and tell you what kind of pricing that Heller's got on this vehicle. So let's take a look at this outside here. Now you can see that it's not a whole lot different from the 2023s. Now they did go a little bit different with the front fascia, and this Dark Horse gets its own specific front bumper and front air dam. So the GT is going to be a little bit different than that. You'll want to make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on my GT review that'll be coming out shortly. And then you've got the Dark Horse badges on the side, and then you also get these 19-inch wheels. They are really nice, and you can upgrade to a 19-inch carbon wheel if you choose to. You can see these have the Brembo brakes, and that's about it there. There's your Dark Horse badge on the side. Of course, on a GT, it's going to have a 5.0 badge. Go around to the back here, and you can see this is the Dark Horse spoiler, and you also have a Dark Horse badge back here also. There you have dual exhaust with quad tips. That is really nice, makes for a great sounding car. This is the hood graphic for the Dark Horse. This is not the upgraded hood graphic that you can get in the appearance package. And also, it does not have the black painted roof that can come in the appearance package also. That is always an option for you. Now let's take a look at the inside here. All right, so you can see the door panels here. Nice black leather everywhere, a little bit of Alcantara right here. You've got your window switches and your door locks. You do have that B&O system with 12 speakers. Steering wheel is pretty standard. It's nice. It does have a nice flat bottom to it. Then you'd also get these Recaro seats. So this was optioned into this car. These Recaro seats don't come standard. They do have the blue trim all through them. The one disadvantage, if you option for these Recaro seats, you do lose the heated and ventilated standard seats that come in this car. Let's get on inside and get a little bit closer look. All right, let's get this turned on and check out the screens. Of course, there's the Dark Horse logo and the Dark Horse on the screen. This is a 13.2-inch infotainment screen that you get. And here are the gauges. This is the track mode gauges. They're pretty awesome. We'll go through the gauges here in just a little bit and show you what other options that you have. It's really nice that it does have whatever screen you're on. You also do have the navigation still onto the right side, and you can flip through that to check out a few different things without having to leave your main screen. That's pretty nice. All the climate control buttons are all across the bottom. Go into your home screen at the top. That brings you back. You have your navigation there now in the center, and we can go in and we'll click on the features here, and we'll go to My Mustang. So that's where all the cool stuff happens. Track apps, auxiliary gauges. Here's your track apps. You've got an acceleration timer, brake performance, lap times, launch settings, a shift indicator. So that, I guess that tells you when to shift. Check out this in here, and you look, you got 0 to 30, you got 0 to 60 times. You can do all of that in here without having to have some type of other source to check that, like a Draggy or something like that. And then we'll go in here and let's take a look at, that's the auxiliary gauges. So you got your acceleration and braking. Looks like you got your G-forces from side to side. That's pretty cool. A few different settings there. Engine oil pressure. That's pretty cool. Let's go back out and we will take a look at our cluster theme. So this is where the cool stuff is. So we're going to go up here and you can do the match to your drive. So to just switch to whatever drive mode you put it in, and it'll switch to that. Now there are your normal gauges, just the standard ones. You go into sport. Those are pretty cool. Those are one of my favorites right now. Go into the track mode, and then that puts the RPMs across the top. That's pretty nice. Some people like that. Then you've got the calm theme, where all it has is the speedometer and your tachometer going around the outside, and that's the only thing on your screen. That's pretty cool. And then if we go down here a little bit farther, Fox body gauges from 87 to 93. Look at those. Those are pretty awesome. Go down here, we got vents, and then you got your start stop. You've got your My mode and traction control. Also your hazards, your favorites, and then you have your window defroster. That is the only button of the climate control that is down here at the bottom and not in the cluster. Then you just have your volume control. You got wireless charging for your phone. You got a little tray there in front, maybe for some coins or something like that. Cell phone sits in there pretty well also. This is a titanium shifter. This is pretty cool. Really easy to drive, shifts really easy. A couple cup holders. Now this is an emergency brake, but if you opt for one of the other packages, then you also get a drift brake with this instead of just an electronic parking brake. So you pull that up and you can drift around some corners if you time it right. This is your steering wheel. It's pretty basic. You got your cruise control, your adaptive cruise control settings, and then you've got your lane centering and those features. Other than that, you've got a few little things inside the center part of the display. So that's about it. There's the door on the other side. It's pretty plain in here. Of course, you got your Dark Horse logo up there on the dash. Got a little bit of carbon fiber everywhere on the dash there, around the vents, on the steering wheel. You got some down around the shifter, and that's just about it. But the cool thing is that all of this stuff is angled towards you. The vents are angled towards you in the center console. The driver's information display is angled towards you, and that is the coolest thing about it. So that it's really directed towards the driver. Okay, so you can see there is not a whole lot of room back here. Now the seats are slid most of the way back. It's going to be a really tight fit back there, regardless of how big you are, or how small you are. Kids might fit back there okay, but you can see that these seats are really cool back there though. They are molded. They're just like having Recaro seats back there, but just not a whole lot of room. All right, let's take a look at the trunk area back here, how much space there is. Wow, that really is a decent amount of space in here. I was really surprised. There's your subwoofer for your B&O system, but this is a decent amount of room. Now, I'd really think that maybe they should pull that back some and shrink that back a little bit and give a little bit more room in that second row, that would be just my preference. So let's talk about pricing on this Dark Horse. So the standard Dark Horse starts at $59,270. Now, if you want to step up to the Dark Horse Premium, that's going to start out at $63,265, which is what this one here is. The MSRP on this as it sits is $66,510. Now, let's talk about Heller's price. Here at Heller Ford, they don't believe in the huge $15,000 or $20,000 markups. This car is going to come in at a list price of $69,992. So if you are interested in this, make sure you get a hold of them. Information was on the screen earlier, but I'll have it linked down in the description. And I will see you guys in the next review.